Primetime local news, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
Good evening. The water main break at the Lloyd Mall put a damper on the Lloydminster's Public Library's move. They've now temporarily reopened to the public with revised services at the Atrium Center. In July, the library closed to the public as they were moving to their new location in the Lloyd Mall. That move then got delayed due to the water damage in August, and the extent of the damages are still under assessment. On Tuesday, the library reopened.
We're trying to adjust, but we had packed everything up and we had most of the stuff moved over there. Then we had to bring all the stuff back, and now we're still trying to find some of the stuff that we had packed in boxes.
The library is open at their previous location in the Atrium Center with limited capacity and modified services.
You can borrow from the collections that are physically in the space. We can do interlibrary loans. You can renew your library card. You can get a library card. We do not, however, have internet, printing, faxing, photocopying. None of that, unfortunately.
Since the library is working with the city on this move and the construction, Mayor Gerald Albers hopes the library can open at their new home soon.
We're going to go through the planning process again with a moving date. Stay tuned with that date once that everything's completed at the mall and we get everything in place and move forward. Fingers crossed, this will be the last time we'll have to reopen the mall, the location downtown for the library at this time, and we'll be getting into the mall as soon as we can.
The library is open Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. This week, Lloydminster City Council approved a contractor to upgrade the water treatment plant control system. A company out of Leduc was awarded the contract at just under $500,000. The technology and control system at the water treatment plant dates back to the 1980s and needs to be replaced. The project budget has increased as it's now going to be completed over a shorter period of time, and the city says that will provide cost savings in the long run.
So rather than having money budgeted 2020, 2021, and 2022 to drag it out over 3 years, it has come over 2 years basically, and they've asked for some additional funds to get this project underway and get it completed. There is cost savings by doing that, of course.
The scope of the work includes the upgrade of the control system at the River Pump House Water Treatment Plant, the West Reservoir, and upgrade or booster station. Mayor Gerald Albers says this is a high priority project as it's the city's responsibility to provide safe drinking water to residents.
It's something that everybody expects to happen each and every day for fire protection, including watering your grass to your own home in the mornings or in the afternoons or evenings when you're having a shower or brushing your teeth. You want to know that that water is there and going to be there. It's going to be clean and it's going to be delivered. And this is all part of the technology that ensures that happens.
The city says they have already found over $800 of cost savings with this project. The Border City will be uniting community members and visitors together in celebration of fall at Bud Miller All Seasons Park. The Lloydminster and District Co-op is presenting Fall Fest for this year on Saturday, September 18th. Since the event was canceled last year due to COVID-19, the city is excited to bring it back in the community.
They can expect a hay maze, horse wagon rides, bouncy castles, family-friendly games, a craft tent, a petting zoo, live music, and even a magic show.
After a long year full of obstacles, the city is fortunate to have strong support for this event to happen.
I'd just like to give a big shout out to all of the community sponsors that we've had, from Eggland, the Lloydminster Co-op. Yeah, without them, it wouldn't be possible to have an event like this. So just a huge thank you to them.
The festival will run from 12 to 5 p.m. and people can find more info at www.lloydminster.ca/fallfest. A walk of remembrance is planned for Saturday in recognition of World Suicide Prevention Day. Stacy Comer spoke to a local woman who will be sharing her story at the event.
I'm joined today on Primetime Local News by Desiree Cornett-Weil. Desiree, we're here to talk about an event that's coming up on Saturday. I know this is difficult for you, but you've been so important and adamant about getting awareness out. So we really wanted to talk about this event, and it's in recognition of World Suicide Prevention Day, and it's a walk of remembrance on Saturday. So can you tell me a little bit about what's planned and what people can do when they show up to the event?
Well, and thanks for having me. September 11th, they're doing the a walk of remembrance, sorry, at Bud Miller. They want us to meet, right when you come into the park, there's that pavilion right on the right. I've been asked to speak at 3 p.m. So I guess that's when it's starting. And it's just really for everybody to come out, and it's a very hard topic, but I find that when people see the outcome, because suicide has touched everybody in one way or the other. And so I find that when you get into the big groups as well, that it just makes people more also aware, but more comfortable to be like, hey, I'm struggling, or I've known somebody that struggles. So yeah, September 11th, this Saturday at 3 p.m., we're going to meet at Bud Miller, and we're just going to reach out and create awareness and just let everybody know that it's okay, and it's okay to not be okay.
Now, Des, unfortunately, your family has been touched by suicide with your son, Jaden, several years ago, taking his own life. Can you tell me a little bit about Jaden? And I know it's like I said, it's a difficult subject, but just tell me a little bit about him and how you've come to this point now where you continue to create awareness.
A lot of people have said to me that I'm so strong and they wouldn't be able to do this. And the big key to that is when you don't have a choice, you don't have a choice. I have 2 other beautiful children. I have an amazing husband, and I have a very close-knit group of friends that have been there since day one. And so with Jaden lived to help people. He was amazing. He was beautiful. He would joke how he would sneak out, not just to play video games, but if somebody needed a shoulder to cry on. And after Jaden passed away, he died June 20th of 2019. I got a message July 4th from my amazing friend downtown, Lister Doucette from Serenity Crystal and Books. And Jaden told me that together we need to reach the children. My son was bullied to death. And so instead of it just being strictly mental health, which is a huge part of suicide as well, I'm on the other spectrum, as my son's mental health was broken by an individual, and he was just made to feel that he wasn't worth being on this earth. And so when I got the message from him, it's the last thing that we're going to be able to do together. And so he said on that side, he's going to reach them, and on my side that I will reach them. And so I have just now, with my support, my best friend, Tasha, and I got some other, like my crew, Pam, Tina, my sister, my mom, just a lot of people. This community is amazing. We've also come together and created a nonprofit. So we are just now going to take the scene by storm. And I just want all the kids to know that, like Jaden, I'm here to help.
And one of the things, Desiree, that you often speak about when you are advocating for this cause is that parents need to get involved. I know you said that you were involved and you still unfortunately missed it. So why is it so important, Des, to make sure that you are basically in your kids' faces and in their stuff all the time?
Well, and like really important. This is very, very, very important. I need everybody to listen. Once it gets in the schools, it is too late. The schools' hands are tied. There's no discipline. There's nothing they can do because some people don't like that. So it really, really, really needs to start at home. And it's not only, unfortunately, it's not only kids, adults. Adults get caught up and anger gets put forward. And it really, really need the parents. They need to start having those talks. And I did miss it. That day that I came home, I didn't even know until my world ended that was even a possibility until that minute. And with Jaden, it wasn't until about probably 2 hours before it happened, because there was a Snap story that was sent out about him and a nasty rumor that was started about him. So with him, it really just came down to the internet, and it came down to words that were spoken. And like, we have to teach our kids, honestly, if they don't have anything nice to say, they shouldn't be saying anything at all, right? Like, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything to anybody. If you're sick, don't go to school. It works in the same category. We really need to build up our kids. They're in complete control of their life, and they don't need to take this crap. And another big thing is the internet. I have now started referring to the internet as a wormhole that we learned about in school in science class, because we don't know where the beginning is and we don't know where the end is. And that's the same as the internet. So you can create gangs. Kids are creating hate pages. They can hide their parents. They can hide whoever they want to hide. We need to hover. We need to get back to our kids. We need to know our friends, and their friends' parents. We need to get involved. And it's hard. Life takes some hard, there's a lot of, there's never seems to be enough time in a day, but when it comes to children, and you don't have to be parents, you can be a friend of this child, or you can be, and you always want to communicate with the adult, but we really need to just start talking and start hovering and getting involved again, because we're giving the kids a lot of freedom. And I did the same. I have 2 younger boys. And so I let Jaden have a TV in his room, and I let him have the video games in his room, and the door, there was a no closed door policy in his bedroom, because like he wanted to have friends over. And I still did all that, and I missed it because they can delete it. There's a secret file in Snapchat that you can create that is passcode protected that I still can't get into of Jaden's, because a lot of kids still use his Snapchat as an outlet. And so I don't want them shutting his Snapchat down. I don't go in there and read it. That's completely for them. But even like me, it just kind of feels like you're talking to them in a sense.
Well, Des, thank you so much for speaking with us today. Like I said, I know this is so difficult with you, but you've done such amazing things creating awareness for this. So once again, you're going to be speaking on Saturday. Can you give us again the time and the place, please?
So it's at Bud Miller Park, the Walk to Remember. It's at the kiosk where the barbecue is, right on the right when you go in. It's that first right. I'm going to be speaking apparently at 3 p.m. So it wouldn't hurt to show up a little bit earlier. And then I think they're going to do a walk around the park. And just don't be afraid to come over and say hello. Don't be afraid to talk about any experiences. We're not in this alone ever. And that's one of the major things, is that doesn't matter how old you are. If you're not okay, reach out. There's always going to be somebody there to help you. So Bud Miller, 3 p.m., come up and say hello. And I really look forward to seeing everybody.
All right, Desiree. Well, thank you so much for speaking with us today. And we encourage everybody to attend the walk on Saturday. Thank you.
Thank you, Stacey.
Now Shelby Clark will take a first look at your forecast. Thanks so much, Jasmine. Now taking a first look at your weather forecast for here in the border city. We are sitting at 25 degrees with a mix of some sun and cloud, but we are seeing a sunnier day today. So we're seeing the warmest we're seeing yet this week. So I hope everybody's enjoying this nice weather while we can, because it will be dropping down a couple degrees cooler throughout the week. Now, as we take a look at temperatures across the region for Alberta and Saskatchewan, on the Alberta side, a lot warmer in most places as well, except for Lac La Biche is seeing a high of 19 degrees right now. Edmonton is at 21 degrees. St. Paul and Vegreville are at 22 degrees, while Bonnyville and Cold Lake are at 24 and 23 degrees. And Vermilion, Wainwright, and Provost are seeing 26 and 27. Now over on this side here, Isle Cross is at 22 degrees, while Green Lake is at 26. Meadow Lake and Pierceland are seeing 25 degrees. St. Walburg is at 24, and Maidstone and Macklin are a bit warmer. They're at 27 and 29 degrees, and North Battleford is at 26. But speaking of North Battleford, overnight they will be going down to a low of 14 degrees overnight, but a lot warmer temperatures there, but they will be seeing around a 30% chance of some showers there overnight. And tomorrow they will be cooling down just a bit to a high of 21 with a mix of some sun and cloud. Now taking a look at Cold Lake overnight, they will be seeing a low of 12 degrees, so a little bit warmer there too as well, but they will be seeing more cloudier skies and most likely won't be seeing any precipitation. But tomorrow they will be seeing a high of 19 with a mix of some sun and cloud. And now taking a look at the school day forecast for all the kids out there, tomorrow they will be seeing 13 degrees when they first start off there heading to school. Recess and lunchtime will warm up just a bit there at 15 and 17, but by the time the school day is out, it will be the warmest there at 20 degrees. And now taking a look at our 3-day forecast for here in the border city, we'll be starting off a bit warmer on Friday with a high of 20 with a lot more sun, but we'll be cooling down on Saturday there with a high of 19 and a low of 7 with a mix of some sun and cloud. And Sunday we will be seeing a high chance there of some precipitation with a high of 17. That's our first look at your weather forecast. We'll have more news coming up after the break. Welcome back. 2 staff members from the Libby Young Center are kicking off a fundraising event tomorrow. Stacey Comer found out what is planned for their goal to raise $50,000.
Mallory Smith is joining us today from the Libby Young Center. Mallory is about to set sail, per se, on Saskatchewan highways by actually doing a walk for a very special fundraiser with the Libby Young Center. So, Mallory, you guys are heading to Saskatoon tonight, and tell me what the plan is after that.
Yeah, so we're heading down tonight. Tomorrow is the big day. So we're kicking off tomorrow in Saskatoon. Myself and a coworker will be walking 270 kilometers from Saskatoon to Lloydminster to raise $50,000, hopefully, for a community outreach worker position that'll help provide in-home mental health support services to Lloydminster and surrounding communities.
As you are doing the walk, Mallory, will you guys have some support along the way too? Is there going to be a vehicle and other people that will be there kind of cheering you along as well?
Yeah, we've got a small but mighty team joining us on the way. We've got a few vehicles. We'll have our Libby Young Center van with food and supplies, water, that kind of stuff. A truck with some speakers on it to keep us energized for the walk, and then another vehicle that'll be pacing us throughout a little bit further ahead.
Tell me about the position that you guys are raising money for and why it's so important to the Libby Young Center.
Yeah, it's really imperative. With COVID, we've seen an exponential need for mental health support services. So this position will be able to go in home, provide support services. So things like financial management, coping strategies, nutrition planning, wellness planning, just kind of any advocacy that somebody needs. So it's just very individual, dependent on the person. But our caseload has grown exponentially, so we need some more support positions.
So why did you decide to do this as a walk as opposed to a different type of fundraiser?
This is our first big fundraiser. We decided to do a walk. We were inspired by Paul LaBerge. He kind of inspired us to go with him. He's no longer doing the walk with us. It's kind of our own gig right now, but this is going to be hopefully an annual event for us. It's a big undertaking, but we are extremely excited.
And Mallory, for those who don't know what the Libby Young Center does, can you tell me a little bit about what it is, the programs that you guys offer and some of the things that you deal with people in the community?
Yeah, so we are a nonprofit transitional mental health facility for adults with mental illness. The illnesses we deal with are schizophrenia, bipolar, depression, and anxiety. And we just try to provide support services, education, day programming, supported living, and life skills to help our clients build the skills to live as healthily and independently in the community as possible.
So I know that you were saying that because of COVID, you've really seen things increase, which is very unfortunate in the community. And obviously, that's one of the reasons that you're hoping to get this position. But if people need to reach out, do they need to be referred to the Libby Young Center, or can they just contact you directly, or how does that work?
Yeah, so to live at the facility, you would need a referral, but we do have day program and community outreach services that you can do a self-referral through. And you can get that application directly on our website at libbie.ca.
Okay, well, Mallory, we're excited for you to see what you guys do with this walk. I know can't predict the weather at this time of year, so who knows what could happen, but we wish you the best of luck. And once again, if people are looking to donate to help out the cause, what is the best way to do that, Mallory?
Yeah, if people want to donate, they can go to www.libbie.ca. We have a donations and fundraiser tab right on the main page, and just hover your mouse over that link and a mental health awareness walk and fundraiser tab will show up. And there's a form at the bottom of that page.
Well, Mallory, thank you so much. I really appreciate this and good luck. We'll be cheering you on and we look forward to talking to you again once this is over and see if you've reached your goal. I'm sure that you will. Such a great cause. So thank you once again for joining us.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Welcome back. Details about how Albertan producers can receive agri-recovering funding has been released by the Ministry of Agriculture. Jillian Code has the story.
The 2021 Canada-Alberta Livestock Feed Assistance Initiative has opened applications to get agri-recovery funding to farmers. Producers will be eligible for funding based on the amount of breeding females in their operation. Alberta's Agricultural Financial Services Corporation, or AFSC, will distribute the funds.
If they're not an AFSC client, they'll need to get set up as a client first. And if they visit our website, there's some resources there that can help them do that. Or if they call into one of our offices, we can also help them there as well.
Similar to other Western provinces, agri-recovery funding will come in two separate payments. The first payment will be targeted towards producers who dealt with the feed shortage throughout the month of August.
They need to have the inventory that they had on hand at August 6th. So it's based on the number of breeding females they had at August 6th. So they should, when they fill out their application, if they've got those numbers, then include them, on that initial payment. The secondary payment is based on inventory on hand at December 31st.
The second payment will look to reimburse producers who experienced extraordinary costs as a result of the drought.
It's based predominantly on a feed need model, and really all that's saying is, well, how many grazing days did you lose this year because of the drought? You know, and if you believe you've got expenses over and above that lost grazing period, then you can submit receipts or proof of those expenses, and have them taken into consideration in the payment as well. We take 70% of any receipted expense, for example.
Payment to producers will be made using an animal unit equivalency system. Cattle are considered the standard at 1 unit per head. They will receive the full $200 in funding. Horse owners will see a little bit more money, as horses are considered 1.2 units per head. On the other end of the spectrum, sheep and goats are only considered 0.2 units per head. Jillian Code, Primetime Local News.
Week 6 of the CFL will feature 3 Labor Day rematches, including the Banjo Bowl in Winnipeg and the Battle of Alberta in Edmonton. Last week, the Saskatchewan Roughriders took their first loss on the season against the Blue Bombers. The Bombers' defense allowed the Riders to score 76 total yards and 0 second-half points.
But this is about scheme as far as I'm concerned. And yeah, they got their butts whipped and their clocks cleaned on the offensive line the other day. But I just think they need to find a way to beat that, and that's up to Jason Moss.
The other Western Labor Day Classic saw the Edmonton Elks pick up their second win on the season against the Calgary Stampeders. Trevor Harris threw for nearly 400 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Starting with Harris and then going down the list, you know, Wilder, Walker, Ellingson, the playmakers made plays. Like, they didn't play a timid, well, we're just going to kind of wait and see what the defense gives us type game. They went out and they took the initiative against the defense.
Each rematch will take place on Saturday, the Banjo Bowl at 2 p.m. and the Battle of Alberta at 5. Now Shelby Clark will take another look at your weather forecast.
Thanks so much, Jazz. And now taking a second look at your weather forecast here, we'll be starting off with taking a look at temperatures across central Alberta and Saskatchewan. On the Alberta side, it's a bit cooler with Whitecourt and Edson at 18 degrees, as well as in Jasper. Rocky Mountain House is at 21, as well as in Edmonton, and Red Deer is a bit warmer at 23 degrees, while Athabasca is at 19. Now over on this end here, Meadow Lake and Prince Albert at 25 degrees, while Melfort is at 28. North Battleford and Saskatoon are at 26 degrees, and Cold Lake is at 23. So a bit warmer over on the Saskatchewan side. But now as we move into our northern region of the provinces, a little bit cooler in most places. Uranium City and Stony Rapids are at 14 and 16 degrees. Wollaston Lake is at 17, while South End is at 19. Flin Flon and La Ronge are at 23 degrees, and Buffalo Narrows and La Loche are at 19 degrees. Now over on this end here, High Level is at 16 degrees, while Fort McMurray is a bit cooler at 14. Peace River is at 15, and Grand Prairie is at 18 degrees, and Fort Chipewyan is at that 13-degree mark. So a little bit cooler over in the northern region, but as we move into the southern region, you can see they are reaching higher temperatures. Lethbridge is at 30 degrees, while Medicine Hat is the warmest there at 31 degrees actually. Banff is at 24, while Calgary and Coronation are at 26 and 27 degrees. Yorkton is at that 26-degree mark, and Kindersley and Regina are at 27, while Swift Current and Moose Jaw are at 28, and Esteban's the warmest there at 29 degrees. So a lot warmer temperatures over in the southern region of the provinces there. But as we go back to the regional temperatures overnight, most places will be seeing warmer temperatures, while Meadow Lake will be seeing a low of 10 degrees. Bonnyville, Paradise Hill, Wainwright, and Provost will be seeing a low of 11 degrees, while Isla Cross and Pearson will be seeing a low of 12. Unity will be seeing the warmest there with a low of 14 degrees, while Murnum will be seeing a bit cooler there at a low of 9. But as you can see in Murnum, Wainwright, Unity, and Provost, they will be seeing a high chance there are some showers overnight, while the rest will be seeing more clear and cloudier skies. Now as we take a look at temperatures tomorrow across the region, we will be cooling down just a couple degrees cooler there in most places. As you can see, it will be ranging from around 19 to 21 degrees in most places, but Isla Cross will be a little bit cooler there at 16 degrees tomorrow. And now as we take a look at our 7-day forecast for here in the border city, Friday will be starting off with sunnier skies there with a high of 20 starting off the weekend. We'll cool down just a couple 1 degree cooler there on Saturday with a high of 19 and a low of 7 with a mix of some sun and cloud. But Sunday we will be seeing around a 65% chance of some precipitation on Sunday to end off the weekend with a lot more cloudier skies and a high of 17. And next week we will be cooling down a couple degrees cooler there starting off on Monday with a high of 18 with a mix of some sun and cloud, a high of 21 on Tuesday. So probably our warmest day on Tuesday we'll be seeing next week with a mix of sun and cloud. And Wednesday we'll be seeing another day filled with a chance of showers there with a high of 17. And Thursday we'll see cloudier skies with a high of 18. That's a second look at your weather forecast. We'll have more news coming up after the break.
Today, I'm joined by Kim Crockett of the B. Fisher Foundation to discuss their color run happening this Friday at Bud Miller Park. So to start, what is the B. Fisher Foundation?
So the B. Fisher Foundation, Josh, it's an arm of the entire B. Fisher group of companies here in Lloydminster. And the role of the foundation is twofold. The first is to bring awareness and understanding to the public of the sort of work that the B. Fisher Center does on behalf of individuals with developmental disabilities. And then the second part that we do is we do fundraising to provide funds to cover capital expenses and improvements that benefit the lives of the individuals that we provide care for.
Now, could you just give a brief explanation of what the color run is?
So the color run is something we've been doing for, with the exception of last year when so many nonprofits, just like ourselves, had to take a significant break from our usual fundraising activities. We're back this year. This is about our 8th year of doing the color run. And what it is, it's an opportunity to bring the community and individuals in our care together for just a really great time at the park. It's the actual run itself. It's a 5K run through Bud Miller Park. It starts and finishes at the picnic shelter. And throughout the run, there's going to be some color stations where we have some fantastic volunteers going to be tossing some powdered color at runners as they go by, just to add to the excitement of it. And then back at the picnic shelter itself, when the race is all done, there's going to be music provided by First Class Entertainment, some snacks, beverages, and just an enjoyable evening in the park. And it's a very family-friendly event. People of all abilities and skill sets, they can all enjoy an evening like this. It's not so much a race as it's just a time to get together, and you can run it or walk it as quick or as slow as you like.
And how many participants are you expecting for this year's event?
Well, we were optimistic that we would get into at least a couple hundred people. We were just a little bit unsure how many people might show up after taking a break for a year. And we recognize there's still some health concerns going on within, not just in the community, but within our, both of our provinces. But right now the response has been fantastic and we're well over the 200 mark.
And then, so what will the funds from this event be used for?
What we're looking to do is we want to have funds available when special needs arise with our individuals. Maybe it's mobility needs, maybe it's a new ramp, maybe it's a lift system in a home. When these needs arise, and they do, we want to make sure that we have the funds available at that time, and then we can respond right away once that need is presented, as opposed to having to go to the community or to try to raise the funds for whatever that particular need is. And so the color run, it's intended to raise funds for those types of purposes. So we have the funds available right away.
And for this year, what's your fundraising goal?
We did have a target that if we could raise close to $15,000 after all the expenses were said and done, we would be really pleased with that. And there's still registrations coming in even right now. And so we're not going to know exactly where we stand until tomorrow evening. But like I say, the registrations are still coming in, and there's still plenty of opportunity for people to register right up until tomorrow morning online. And then if for whatever reason they aren't sure if they can participate until closer to the event itself, they can still actually register at the Bud Miller Park just prior to the event, which starts at 6 o'clock.
And where would be the best place to find any extra information or to register for this event?
So the best place right now is to go onto our website, and that's simply www.bfisher.com. There is a link that'll take you to our color run page. It'll give people all the information that they need about it. You can register, sign up for your t-shirt. If you're with a group, you can sign up yourself and a number of other people all at the same time, pay for your registration. It takes care of everything right there on the spot. And like I say, if for some reason somebody just can't decide until closer to that moment, they can certainly come to the park. It's cash only at the park. There will be people starting to gather shortly after 5 o'clock, and the run itself, it actually starts pretty much sharp right at 6 o'clock tomorrow. And should just put in one little plug. Our longtime friend in this area, Kurt Price, will be our MC for the evening. So we're looking forward to what sort of entertainment he can add to the whole event as well.
Well, thanks for taking the time and good luck with your event.
Hey, thank you so much, Josh. Thanks for taking the time to find out a little bit more about what we're doing.
Today I'm joined by Lauren Davidson from the Legacy DIY Makerspace, as well as Don Ames of Don Interior and Fashions. And they're here to talk about Lloydminster's Outdoor Night Market, which is happening tonight. Thank you both for joining me.
Thanks for having us. So just to kind of clear things up, it's a night market as well as sidewalk sales. So this is a collaboration with several downtown businesses that's really going to be bringing some much needed attention to the downtown core. So Dawn has actually contacted me about a week ago, and it's something that the downtown core has been doing for the last couple of years, where several small businesses set up their nice little displays outside their store and offer some year-end sales and things of that nature. Legacy, on our behalf, we've got 40 some odd vendors that are coming down to block the one-way downtown here, and we'll be doing some live demonstrations. So we're doing some blacksmithing. The Legion's bringing burgers, pop, hot dogs, that kind of thing. Just Cruising is bringing a couple of vehicles, and we'll have a couple games there as well. So we're really looking forward to the few days here, launching on Thursday.
And just in contrast to previous years' events prior to COVID, I was just curious what organizing this outdoor market was like this year. Was it different at all, or did it come to you easily?
I think it was about the same. We just contacted the businesses. A lot of times we don't have time to go door to door anyways, even before COVID. So it's just a lot of phone calls, a lot of Facebook messages back and forth, and to try to get it organized.
And how many vendors are you guys expecting to be there?
So Legacy, we've currently got over 100 vendors that participate in our full-time market, of which we have about 40 vendors that will be participating in the street market and the sidewalk sales. So we will have plenty of talented creators, crafters, and small businesses. People will now, for the first time, since we've had these vendors in our space, actually be able to meet the maker, meet the person behind the product. So it'll be a great opportunity to do some social networking and to kind of let people know that, hey, we are local. You know, you are supporting your fellow neighbor, your friend. It's the easiest way to support local.
And lastly, for anyone who might want to get involved or come check out the market tonight, where and when should they go?
So this will be kind of happening all of downtown. Where you are expanding, I think, as far as Olive and Birch.
Yeah, there's Lloyd Outfitters. So over on 49th Avenue, there's lots of businesses that are involved. Hot Peppers, the Ark Church is going to have a sort of a little sale thing happening there. The sports shop over on 50th Avenue, there's Adeline Apparel. the Hive, myself, Dawn Interiors and Fashions, and I think various places that we don't even know for sure that are going to be popping up. So there'll be sidewalk sales. You'll see them outside, and so just cruise all around the downtown. There's lots of great food venues as well. There's a authentic Vietnamese restaurant, East Market Noodle House, the Spice Hut, the Bar Colonist is right close to where you're going to be doing it, but then the Legion is doing a barbecue. So that's going to be really great. We want to get out and support the Legion.
You'll most likely hear a couple of blacksmith hammers being twanged throughout, or even some of our music. So won't be hard to find any of us.
Thanks so much, guys.
No worries. Thanks for having us.
Now taking a final look at your 7-day forecast here for the border city. Friday will be starting off warmer there with a high of 20 with a lot more sun. So make sure you're going out and enjoying that nice Friday and Saturday for this weekend, because it will be cooling down a bit. 19 on Saturday with a mix of some sun and cloud. Sunday we will be seeing around a 65% chance of some precipitation there with a high of 17 on Sunday. So we'll be cooling down a bit on that day as we go into next week. But as we go into Monday, we will be seeing a high of 18 with a mix of some sun and cloud. Tuesday we'll be seeing the same there with a high of 21, but Wednesday we will be seeing some precipitation as well with a high of 17, and Thursday we'll be seeing a high of 18, but not as much sun and a lot more cloudier skies with around a 30% chance of some precipitation on Thursday.
Thank you for joining us on Primetime Local News, and have a great rest of your night.